Hey Fit Fam, welcome to Life Beyond the Finish Line. I'm your host, Olandina Ballant, aka the Fitter Woman. I'm a women's physique pro competitor in the International Federation of Bodybuilding. I'm also an educator, motivator, and the People's Holistic Lifestyle Coach. And welcome to Life Beyond the Finish Line. Today we're going to talk about what it means to age gracefully. And my guest here, Susan Horton, is a professional women's wellness athlete and business owner. She's living proof that there's no expiration date on dreams. She began her competitive bodybuilding journey 20 years ago and then stopped. And starting again in 2022, she has now not only defied expectations, she has redefined them. So join us as we talk about what it means to become a pro in the IFBB and how she's using it to bring a powerful blend of grace, grit, and purpose to the stage. So please help me welcome Susan.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming. I'm going to bring this mic a little closer to you so we can hear everything you have to say. So Susan, let's just jump into it. So let's go back. Let's go. Let's do this. So I remember I met you in the gym and I've been watching you train for a while now. And so we actually got an opportunity to talk, and you were saying how you started this 20 years ago.
Yes.
And then stopped. Can you tell us? So when you told me why, I'm like, wow, it happened to so many people. So tell us what happened and why did you stop?
It was always a dream of mine to go into the bodybuilding stage. I was training at the gym, and a lot of people saw me, and they had asked me if I was a competitor. They said that I should compete, that I had a lot of muscle, it looked great, and all these great things. So I did my first figure show, and while I was training for that, and after I had done that, I was getting a lot of comments from people at the gym, guys mostly, that I look like a dude. What was that just walked by? Is that a guy? Is that a woman? People at work are telling me that I'm building too much muscle, that I should stop, and I just let all that get to me, and I decided to stop.
It's funny because people hear that a lot. I'm striving towards my dream, and you hear all the negative, the naysayers. And I remember I was at Home Depot once, and this guy comes up to me. He's like, "Excuse me, are you a man or a woman?" And I was like, so pissed. I was like, what makes you think you can even ask me that question? Exactly. I just started to give him the business, and a gentleman comes up behind me. He's like, if you think I'm going to allow you to waste your time on this guy, you got another thing coming. He escorted me out of the space. But it's just interesting how people's definition of beauty and what that looks like. But we're going to talk about that. So you stopped. What made you come back? Because sometimes when people stop, they don't come back because they're afraid, oh, my time has passed. What made you come back?
It was always a regret of mine. I always wanted to be successful at bodybuilding. My dream was to, of course, get onto the Olympia stage like all bodybuilders want. And I was doing a tabling event at a bodybuilding show. It was one of the first shows from COVID. And I was sitting there with my partner, and I'm looking at all these gorgeous girls with their suits that were glammed up. And I said to him, I'm like, I used to be one of these girls. I'm like, do you think I can still do this? And he goes, absolutely. He goes, the only difference between you and these girls is that they starved themselves for 4 months. You stayed in the gym all these years. You have muscle. You look great. You can do this. And then about that time, I saw a woman about my age. She, it was just something about her where she was glowing, and I couldn't take my eyes off of her. So I watched her go behind the curtains, and then a few minutes later, she came out with this huge smile on her face. And I go, she placed. I'm like, I'm doing this. I'm doing this. So the next day, we called Steve Weinberger, told him that I wanted to get back into competing. And he's like, that's great. What can I do to help? So he had introduced me to my current trainer, Rita Penteado.
Hey, Rita.
And
hi, Steve.
I've been working with her for a few years, and that's what got me back into it.
You met a great coach.
Yes.
Rita is a
best.
phenomenal. We're going to have her on the show too, but she is phenomenal because she's such a positive person. But look at that. You saw somebody where you wanted to be, and instead of saying, I'll never be that, you were like, you know what? She did it. That means I can do it too. So now, were you athletic when you were growing up, or was bodybuilding your first sport that you got into?
Always into athletic sports. I played all different sports. The one that I really loved and excelled at was gymnastics.
Oh, nice.
And I did that while I was in school. Afterwards, I joined a gym and got into bodybuilding. What especially got me into bodybuilding was when I saw Monica Brandt on the cover of a Muscle and Fitness magazine. I thought she was the most beautiful woman, the most beautiful body ever. And I'm like, I want to look like that. I want to do that.
Oh my gosh. So now you're doing this for the first time, and you're doing prep. And for those of you that don't know, prep is that 16 to 20, depending on who you are and where you fit in, 16-week period where you're like, okay, it's showtime, and you just start to, what we say, cut, and which just means you just start leaning out, or you just start cutting your food, and your coach is it's very specific. And so it can be very, very trying. So what did your first prep feel like physically, mentally, emotionally? Because a lot of people, when they start that, they're like, this is not for me. What was it like for you?
It was hard. It was more of a mental thing. I spoke with my coach a lot, and I learned that bodybuilding, not only is it working hard in the gym, but it's really a mental sport. You really have to have your mindset, and you have to stay focused on a goal. I knew I had to go into a show looking a specific way. I didn't want to fail, and I just stuck to what I had to do. As far as dieting, I would tell myself that whenever I got hungry, it meant that I was leaning out, tightening up, and I'm doing it right. That if I'm not hungry, then I'm doing it wrong.
Yeah.
And if I'm not tired, I wasn't training hard enough. So that's how I use it. I take all these things. I don't try to look at things in a negative way. I take everything and try to make it a positive. So I tell myself, the hungrier that I am, the more tired that I am, the better I'm going to look.
I remember when I was studying Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, my sensei used to say, iron sharpens iron. So you have to suffer in order to see progress. So if you're not suffering, and I want you guys to understand, suffering doesn't mean like, oh my God, you're just dying. You kind of are, because you're cutting back your calories and what you normally eat, and your energy level's so low. So that's when we're saying that it is your mind at that point takes over, because your body is like, stop it, right? But then your mind is like, let's go, we could do this.
Yes.
So now, was there a defining moment that said, I'm doing this for me? Where you were like, no matter what if people started talking, where was that moment where you were like, you know what? It's not about any of you. This is for me.
When I was at the trade show, and when I decided that I was going to go back into it, when I saw the girls, I'm like, I used to do that. I'm just going to continue my journey. I was at a point in my life where I just wanted to not be afraid to do anything. I wanted to do everything that it was, that I wanted to do. I want to look back on my life and go, wow, I really did a lot. I don't want to look back on my life with any regrets.
One of 3 words I hate, and 3 words I will always fight myself against saying is shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Exactly.
If I ever find myself saying that, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want my life to be full of regrets. So those shoulda, you gotta live your life. Like, you do it, you make a mistake. It is what it is, but it's part of the process, right?
Yep.
So when we get back, I want to talk about your challenges that you faced and the barriers that you broke. So you are listening to Life Beyond the Finish Line on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHBC. I'm Olandina Ballant, a.k.a. the Fitter Woman, and today we're talking about aging like a champion and redefining what it means to grow older with my guest, Susan Horton, who is a women's wellness competitor. Soon, now you got your pro card.
I do.
She is now,
my pro card.
She's got her pro card, and this is going to be your pro debut?
Yes.
What was that like, when you got on that stage, you were about to step on, you're against these other women, and you hear that you got your pro card? What was that like?
It was like overwhelming at that point. I just couldn't believe, I wanted it so bad, and I just couldn't believe that actually happened, and it was just a great feeling.
Oh my gosh. Because I remember when you came to the gym, we were like, how'd you do? You're like, I got my pro card. I was like, wow. But you were just so like understated. You just came in, just continued to train.
It took a while to sink in. I just couldn't believe it. I'm like, I did it.
Oh my God. Has it sunk in yet?
I think it's gonna really sink in when I get onto the first pro stage, when I'm up there with all the girls that I followed on Instagram, followed their careers, and when I see them on the same stage as they, then I think that's when it really hit me that I turned pro.
Did you turn pro? I remember I did a pro show. When I first did my first pro, I didn't know what to expect, right? But it wasn't until I did the New York Pro and I saw myself standing on stage with these top tier women's physique athlete, and we were taking our picture because I came in top 5, and we're embracing. I'm like, I'm touching Natalia's shoulder, like, and it just said, I've arrived, like I'm here. So it's a beautiful thing, and I think it does take a little time for us to be like, those are my shoes, and I'm gonna grow into them, but those are my shoes. So, starting this journey later in life, what were some of the unique challenges that you faced internally or from others?
I think just, again, not letting people's negativity get to me. When I first told people that I was getting back into competing, people my age were the ones that gave me a hard time. Like, why are you doing this now? You really think that you're going to beat girls younger than you? You really think that you're going to be successful? And again, I take these things and I turn it into positive. So when you tell me that I can't do something, it makes me work harder. I'm going to show you. I'm going to tell you what I can do. You don't tell me what I can do. I'm going to show you what I can do. And so I use that to fuel me for each and every prep. And when I'm in the gym, when I'm tired, I think I can't do another set, I'm like, no, I got to prove I can do this. I'm in this. I've got the grit. I really want this, and I'm going to do this.
I think sometimes when people say that you can't do something, they really are speaking. It's a lot of self-talk. It's stories that they've created in their own minds. And when they see you accomplishing it, there's some sort of jealousy that comes along with it. And you're telling people, as I've told people, listen, if I'm doing it, you can do it. You just got to make the time. Just like I made the time. We both have 24 hours on the clock. How I choose to use my 24 and how you choose to use your 24 is just dependent upon that. So you're like, I'm not going to let you know who I am. I'm going to tell you who I am. I wrote a whole book. Book and song. Want to hear it? So I remember when we were speaking before, you said what you found surprising was like a lot of younger women supported you. What did they say to you?
That I've inspired them to start competing, inspired them to start working harder in the gym, and just all these great things. I was surprised. I thought that I would get that more from people my age, where they'll see that it's not too late, you're not too old, that you can succeed in any dream that you want. And but it was nice though hearing this from the younger kids, that they actually looked up to me and took something positive.
Did you find it surprising that your journey turned out to be a journey where you're bringing others along with you?
I was just trying to do my own thing. I wanted to succeed in my goal, and I didn't realize that I was being watched and that I would inspire other people to go on their journeys.
I like that. So I know we also spoke about your background. You grew up multiracial, as she is multiracial, and you struggled with belonging. So how has competing helped you to find your fit, your community, or your identity in a new way?
Because I was multiracial, I never fit in any group growing up. I was always on the outside, and in this community, the bodybuilding community, there's people of all different nationalities. There's people that speak all different languages, people coming from all different countries. We're all different, but we all have the same common goal of bodybuilding.
I think it's beautiful because I remember I was reading something about tribes, right? You have different tribes, and oftentimes when tribes are traveling, they come across other tribes, and some people may leave the tribe that they're in and join another tribe. And the beauty of having this community of people that each person has their own gift and talent, and so that allows the tribe to thrive and survive and flourish. So when you come into the gym and you meet these people from different tribes, right, different experiences and different backgrounds, and they all come together. So now this allows this community to be even better
Everybody's
and
so
greater.
supportive of each other. And this is the first time I ever felt like I really belong. And I always felt like a freak with the muscles. But now I feel beautiful. This is the first time I ever felt beautiful, felt accepted, feel like I belong somewhere.
It's funny because I used to say the same thing because I used to cover my arms with sweaters and things like that. And I loved my physique. I love what I do. I loved my body, but I hated the staring and I hated that. So I used to cover up. And one day I was like, I'm not going to do that anymore. I work so hard. We work so hard. I work so hard.
Yeah. And it's beautiful.
It's so beautiful. And my students think it's the coolest thing ever that their teacher's a bodybuilder, and it encourages them.
Yeah.
So, it's amazing how in our journeys we inspire others, and this tribe has the same mindset. They come from different backgrounds, but they have the same mindset, this idea of being better.
Yeah, it's a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication, a lot of commitment, which says a lot about the person doing this. And this is just something that you could take away in any endeavor that you have. You don't have to do what I do, in anything that you choose to do. You put in the hard work, you can be successful.
On any stage.
Exactly.
Any stage.
Yep.
So when we come back, we're going to talk about on where you're taking this now. What is the next step? So, fam, you are listening to Life Beyond the Finish Line on the voice of Nassau Community College, right here on 90.3 WHBC. I'm Orlandina Ballin, a.k.a. the Fitter Woman, and today we're talking about aging like a champion. I'm here with my guest, Susan Horton, who is now a pro women's physique. No, not women's with physique, women's wellness.
Physique.
Your women's physique?
Yes.
I stand corrected. She's one of us. She's sister. Women's physique athlete with the IFBB. She is going towards her first pro show. When is your first pro show?
It's going to be July.
It's going to be this July?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So we're getting ready to go into hardcore prep for it.
So now, what's it like training? You've been with Rita the entire time since you started. What is it like having a coach like her? What makes her special?
She's been where I want to go, and she's such a positive, beautiful person, and she just helps me keep in my mindset. She pushes me. She showed me that I'm stronger mentally and physically than I thought that I was. So she's taught me a lot. She's just a beautiful, beautiful soul, a great friend.
What would you say has been the toughest point in your prep where your coach had to just be like, look, what would you say was one of your toughest points in any one of your preps? And how did she help you?
I would say part of the prep, I hate cardio. Hate
Mm-hmm.
cardio. So sometimes we have to increase it to 2 times a day as we get closer. And so she would come up with different ideas on what I can do. So this way I'm not doing the same stairs every day, but she'll mix it up for me.
See, that's the cool part. When you have a good coach, you're like, all right, you got to get it done.
Yes.
Let's find creative ways of having you getting it done. So now that you've earned the pro card and you're about to do your pro show, what do you think is next? What's beyond that finish line? What do you want to do next?
My ultimate goal is I want to get onto the Olympia stage. So I'm going to work very hard and try to make that happen.
Okay.
Will it happen? I don't know. I know that if I don't try, it sure won't.
Exactly.
But if I do try, you never know.
You never know. Hey, there are people who've gotten on that stage and they were like, I didn't think I could make it. And they made it.
I didn't think I was going to turn pro. And look what happened.
And look what happened, right?
Yeah.
So I know you said that you're going to keep that competing. You're going to keep competing as long as you can.
Until my body says no more.
Okay. And when your body says that, you'll find something else.
I'll find something else. There'll always be something else.
So what is your go-to thing to do beyond the gym? Like when you want to chill and relax, what's your thing?
To relax, I take dance classes. So I like to do aerial spinning.
Oh, wow.
I find that very relaxing. I love just being up in the air on the scarves and just swinging through the air, just close my eyes and I just feel weightless and just one with the world, with the light.
Oh, I love that. I said I wanted to try it, but I'm just so afraid of heights. It's so much fun.
It's so freeing.
I'm going to try it. Okay. I got to try it. I got to get beyond my fear.